HOA Fight Club. I'm Raylene Schifano. Today I'd like to discuss the HOA and the way it's set up in condo associations. HOA is a socialist government. You pay all your money into them and they get to decide how they spend it. Kind of like what we're in the United States. People ask me why I don't want a socialist as a president. Well, here's my opinion of the socialist president. They get to take in all of our tax dollars, charge us whatever they want, 50, 65%, whatever percentage they want, and they decide how to spend the money. They decide, not us, not we the people. The government gets to decide. So right now they're promising us all these things. Well, my HOA promised me a lot of things too. Guess what? They never followed through. They gave us this budget plan. So they showed us all these wonderful things of how they're going to spend our money. They never did. Oh, we're going to have beauty bark laid. Guess what? We paid $30,000 to $40,000 in beauty bark. Never got it. And we paid, they double taxed us on the road. So the $93,000 the city of Kent was charging us for the road, well, the HOA charged us double. They charged us double. And then guess where the money went? Not to the people, not to help the homes. They went to, the board's pockets, because I can show the commingling of funds of how they shipped it out to another nonprofit, not to the HOA. So this is a way the government gets to take the money in and then spend it. And these HOAs are small governments that the government has given permission to do this. They don't have to justify where they spend the money. They just have to give us these little spreadsheets that show us where the money went. They don't have to show us the actual invoices. They don't have to show us the bank statements. They don't have to do anything because the government has given them the legal right to deny our rights. And they say they haven't, but they have. Go ask your HOA if you can see all the bank statements. Ask them if you can log into a read-only file and see if you can see the actual amounts that are in your bank statements. I bet you're denied, but go ask, go try. Go ask the property manager if you can come in and see the documents of the HOA, if you can see all the bills and the invoices and where the money is actually being spent. I bet you're denied. Most people are denied everything. And that's the exact same thing that's going to happen if we're in a socialist government. They get to decide everything. I refuse to be in that situation again. For 5 years, I had to fight to get my home fixed. I had wind-driven rain damages and roofs that weren't up to code and water intrusion flowing into my home. I've lived in mold and moisture and horrible circumstances. And the board was responsible for fixing everything. The government was responsible for fixing everything. It was their responsibility. But guess what? They denied it for 5 years. Why do you think that is? Well, guess what? They don't have to pay it because I had to take them to civil court to get them to do what they're supposed to do. Because when the government's in control, who's going to push them into doing what they're supposed to do? Everybody wants the power, but once they get the power, they don't want to share that power. That's why those governments start to fail. That's why you see Venezuela the way it is right now. Though the power makes people crazy. I've seen people get power and then they don't want to share that power. Nobody wants to have to justify what they're doing with the money. They want to be able to spend it wherever they see fit. Not where we the people see fit, but where they see fit. I know people hate Trump. He's not a nice guy all the time, but at least my business is profiting. And I have 2 businesses that are profiting under the administration the way it is now. If I could see another person that would run and is better than him, I would totally vote for that person. And I'm not saying that I won't vote for somebody else if somebody else better comes along. But I will never, ever lose my constitutional rights again under a socialist government. I have been there. In the United States, the HOA and condo association governments are ran as socialist governments. Developers get to make the laws. They get to say that they can pick and choose and be selective in their enforcement. They don't have to be fair. They don't have any government that is governing them and holding them accountable. The board can be unethical and the attorneys can be unethical. In fact, the attorneys have made it so that they don't even have to follow the laws that control their ethics. So when I turn the attorneys in for ethics violations for denying my constitutional rights, well, the attorneys, the Washington State Bar Association said, well, they don't have to honor your constitutional rights because in HOA, you don't have any constitutional rights. So what do you think it's going to be like when it's a socialist country and we are now, none of us have constitutional rights? What are we going to do? Just throw out that constitution? Because that's what HOA does. So I just really disagree with that kind of government. And that's why I am fighting for our rights. And I'd hate to see the entire country go in that direction. We need moderates. We need to make sure that the people are covered and we have fair and equal government for all. That is my fight, that every citizen in the United States has the fair and equal protections under the Constitution that we are supposed to have. The HOA people don't have those fair and equal governance. And if we allow a socialist president to come in, we are all going to be in the same predicament that the HOA standard of people are living in right now. I suggest that none of you allow this to happen, that we all understand what is going on. I know that free healthcare and free schools and free everything sounds really good, but it's not free. That 50 to 65% in taxes that you pay is not free. And then you have the $10 a gallon of gas. In Europe, that's what it costs for gas. And it costs $5 a gallon for milk. And it costs so much more. Their sales tax, which they call a VAT tax, is 21% or more in each country. So think about that. Right now, I think some of you only pay like 6% in sales tax. Some states only have 0% in sales tax. So you have to understand where all these other taxes are coming from. So when you want a $15 minimum wage, you're not going to get that. It's all going to go back into taxes. So yes, Bernie is fighting for $15 an hour minimum wage, but he's going to take half of it back so that you can have your free medical or your free schooling. And how fair is that to start now when half of us have already gone through school? Do I get free school? Because I'd really love to go back to school and finish it. I'd really like to get my law degree since I know the laws now a lot better than what I did when I started the HOA fight. So if Bernie's in, I think that he should make it so that everybody can go back to school, because that would be fair and equal for all. There's a lot of things that people don't understand, and our government is kind of really crazy right now, but let's remember what we are really here for. Everybody should have fair and equal representation. We should all be covered under the Constitution, and we all don't want to lose those rights. Businesses want to thrive. Farms want to thrive. Everybody wants to thrive. But socialism is not going to help us thrive. And that's the government that we are running in under HOA. And these are my personal opinions, and you don't have to agree with them. And that's okay. I understand if you don't want to agree with them. And if you decide to vote for a social government, that is your choice. You may need that socialist government, and I can't tell you what you should believe in, but just take my admonishments that a socialist government may not be exactly what you think it is. I've been to Europe. I've been there. I've stayed over there for 3 months at a time. My husband used to live over there. So we've seen how it works. My friends in Germany pay $400 or more a month in their stipend for their medical, so it's not exactly free. I don't know why everybody thinks it's free. So there's lots of things that are portrayed over there in the other countries that's not quite true. So do your homework, but I will never vote for socialist things just because I've had to deal with HOA and their socialist type government. That's my personal opinion, and you can form your own opinion. So when people ask for me to vote for a socialist, I can't do it, but you make your own choice. That's my opinion for the day. See you on the next one.